welcome to the November 6th Election Day meeting of the Board of Selectmen. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome for those that are here, Debbie, and those folks that are tuning in. We did have an earlier session this evening. We're now back on our normal schedule. Any announcements, folks? Other than you have exactly 1 hour and 59 minutes to vote if you haven't voted today, and we would hope that everybody would take the time and effort to go out and vote. Appointments, we'll jump right into this, seeing as how we've got a very slim agenda this evening. Tom, town planner or planning board. How about discuss a vote on the planning board's proposed changes to the growth ordinance?
Good evening, board. Andy Cody may also be here,
Okay.
because he's the primary architect and designer and invested an awful lot of time in working with the planning board on the growth management ordinance. Christina's provided you, I believe, with the old ordinance and Attorney Natalie Burns' update. And what Natalie has done with the planning board is go through the mechanics and the legalities of updating it. By state law, we're required to update the growth management ordinance. And there were a series of things that, because of the lack of building permits that have been drawn down over the last 5 years, there were some needs to update the specifics on it. One of them on page 2 of your amended copy from Natalie reduces the amount of permits from 80 to 74. I'm just going to go through some of the highlights. The process for drawing down growth permits typically worked on a fiscal year from July to July. There's been an amendment recommended by the planning board and approved by Natalie to change it to a calendar year. And that shows up on page 4. Some clarity as to defining building units, dwelling units, and then also some statutory things that were necessary because of some statute changes at the state level. So it now brings the town's growth management ordinance that was created in 2002, amended in 2010, brings you up to date. The planning board feels that it'll be a lot more functional and also relieve and improve the efficiency of permit processing amongst the different departments in town hall. So those, in essence, the changes. Nothing terribly dramatic. More procedural, statutory, and an attempt to make it more efficient.
And we had a couple meetings with the planning board as they
Yes.
went through this process too, so that was nice because I think it gave us an opportunity for some feedback then while they were drafting it. It was nice to see that some of the things that came of those conversations are incorporated in this.
Oh, thank you, thank you. The planning board has been taking some real special initiatives to bring some of the ordinances up to date, to clear up some of the inconsistencies. And so over the course of the next year, you'll be seeing some more improvements to ordinances. So both the board and the planning department would encourage your support of this. And if so, then we would, I think Chairman Nelson has requested a consensus opinion by the board. If the board is willing to offer your opinion, then that'll be the initiative for the planning board to bring it to public hearing.
So the planning board has had a public hearing on this? No.
Not
But,
yet.
so we agree that this is that we that we agree with this, then we have a public hearing.
No, what the planning board is looking for is our consensus that we proceed.
Okay, and if our
So that-
consensus, do they have the public
So they
hearing?
then have to have a public
Yeah.
hearing.
Okay,
When they get done and present it to the board, we have to have a public hearing as well,
Correct.
right, before we adopt the changes to the
Yeah.
final.
it's, and so if we're saying now that that looks pretty good, they go back, they have a public hearing, then it comes back and then we have another public hearing, and then we officially say it looks pretty
Yeah,
good.
well, I think what they're trying to do is to at least get some warm feeling that we're not gonna say in the 11th hour, this isn't what we're looking
Yeah.
for, right?
This is your first blessing, and then the second one will be a final blessing.
Yeah.
Well, I would
Yes.
make a motion that we send a correspondence to the planning board through Tom that we approve the revisions that they've recommended and ask them to move forward with a public hearing.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any discussion, further discussion? Good.
Good with what I read.
And I just for my own clarification, you said Natalie is the one that, this document that's all X'd out, and that's a Natalie document?
Yes, the one that's been redlined.
Right. So where she's taken out full paragraphs that dealt with federal housing and state housing, those are,
Right.
that we're not gonna get, well, she's our lawyer, so I would presume we're not gonna have.
Unless she makes any additional changes.
And
to the final document.
the only other question that I had was, the very end of this, well, two issues. On page 6, these never used to be transferable. Now, it appears that they are transferable. Growth permits are, used to say not transferable, now it says
Lots.
growth permits for lots.
I remember this last time. I didn't realize I was missing anything.
Touche.
Okay.
So they're now lot specific, or will be lot specific.
They'll be lot specific, but not person specific. And the reason that they are transferable is because state law says that we cannot say that we have the permits and then we don't have the permits.
The very last page, 9 of 9, because each page is lettered 6 of 6, 7 of 7, 8 of 8, 9 of 9. There's a comment down at the bottom that says, I think we should probably add to the list of definitions. Whose
And that
comments are
that
those?
was taken out. We were gonna add definitions as seasonal housing and temporary housing, because we use that language in the ordinance. But when we put it in, we found it was more complicated to actually define that. We added in there that things that were excluded from the growth ordinance would be hotels, motels, seasonal sites and temporary housing sites such as cabins or camping wouldn't need a growth permit. So if someone wanted to have a snowmobile place where they rented cabins for snowmobilers, they wouldn't need a growth ordinance. And so we wanted to make sure that wasn't gonna get abused to be, they would build it seasonal and then all of a sudden somebody's living in it. So we're gonna try to define seasonal, but we put down that it had to be business owned, so it has to be part of a business. So it's seasonal uses, temporary seasonal uses as part of a business. And that's why we put that in there. So we decided not to actually define what seasonal was, it complicated it more than anything else.
I just saw the note there, and it was,
Yep.
just begged the question of, is there more work to come, or is that?
We debated it quite a bit. I mean, it went round and round for quite a while.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I just think that if as much thought has gone into this document as has with the vertical enhancement device that he brought in tonight, that it must be
More
pretty,
thought went into the document.
that it must be pretty comprehensive.
I did that for your benefit, Mrs. Bennett.
Okay. Touche, Rick. All right, sensing no more discussion, all those in favor? Opposed? So, Tom, if you would prepare a note back to the planning board saying that the board endorses this as it stands, we'll go from there. Okay?
Thank you for.
Moving on, hearing of delegation. Everybody's jumping up. Correspondence, weekly treasurer's reports. Representative Libby's newsletter. There's a letter here from the York County, the 6-month transitional and the 12-month fiscal year budgeting letter is in there, somewhat confusing, but, and then there's, just a notice that next week, just for those of you that might be interested, we will be holding a public hearing to consider new general assistance maximum levels in the town's ordinance. Reports of staffs and initiatives. We've got the Cable TV Committee up first. Richard Bateman. How are you tonight?
Good.
Absolutely.
A little cold, but good. Just 2 items. In regards to the contract, it's been sitting on the desk of the Trish McCausland, who's a New York lawyer for Time Warner, and she promises after 11 months she's going to start to look at it. So we'll see what happens. Second item is that Time Warner is changing their, going to digital from analog on all their cable, which means they're going to renumber all the stations. And unfortunately, I think going up to 4-digit numbers instead of the 1 or 2 that we're used to. So I think it's kind of crazy. And let me see. They will have a separate channel for each one of the 6 towns, including this town, to replace the current Channel 5, which is just currently done. And that, I've got it here someplace. You'll be informed anyhow. That would be, I think, probably channel 1996. So apparently, in the next 7 or 8 months, everybody will be informed in 5, 6 communities, and if they don't have a particular box that is needed, they'll be, sent one free to get the digital. Most people who have are able to get the more than the original 18 or 16 or 18 stations probably have a box already. So that's all I know about that.
So it should affect only those people that have the real basic.
That's right. And they'll have to order a box, but they'll be free. So, and that's a 9 months program to do this.
I don't want to disagree with you, because you're probably more in the know than I am, but the material that I've read is they give you the box free up front, but after a couple of months, they're going to start charging a fee to use that. It's going to be incorporated within your bill. I think it's $1.
I guess I missed that. It sounds like though.
Yeah.
And according to the federal law, there's nothing we can do about their charges. Whatever they can charge is up to them.
So if somebody only has like the old TV style, not the digital TV, are they still going to be able to get cable?
If they get this particular
Yeah, it's-
discount.
Box?
It's not the DVR, it's a different box that allows them to pick up, allows you to pick up your signal. So if you have regular TVs in your house, you're gonna need a box for each television.
They've already started changing over in Greater Portland. I was talking to a FedEx guy, and he said that's all he's doing is delivering these Time Warner boxes to houses.
I'm not an expert on that, so. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Dick. Cemetery Committee. Conservation Commission.
Good evening.
Anybody from the Conservation?
Oh,
you
you're
had
back
the,
there
you had the
somewhere.
camouflage, I couldn't see you anymore.
You guys gotta have these meetings a little later. No, seriously. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
My name's Anthony Lucarelli. Right now, we're just establishing this committee. So there's really not a lot that we have going on. There are a few things that we're looking into. One of them is a piece of property on Moody Pond, We gotta do a lot of research on that, we're looking into that. And like I said, we got 3 committee members right now. I think a 4th just joined. We can definitely use a lot more. Other than that, I just don't have a lot. We haven't had more than 5 meetings right now, and we're going through a lot of the old files, which, that's a lot.
And I think I mentioned it, I might have mentioned it to Tammy Jo, but the Moody Pond thing goes back a number of years, as everybody knows. But Steve Everett
Yep.
did a lot of work with regard to
We were
that.
actually on the committee with him years ago, and he had talked
So
about it.
you might want to just touch base with, if
Yep.
you can get a hold of him. He might shed some light on where files might be, what time frame, because I think we all lose perspective with how many years ago that was. So. Okay? Anything else?
That's pretty much it right now.
Thank you, sir.
It's nice to see this committee back.
Yeah. God, I thought he was bringing in the gates.
I thought he was bringing in a body.
All right. Community Garden Committee. The other half of the Waterboro family. We can see Amy though, because she doesn't have the camouflage on, so.
Yes, I already took it off. I was out there with him. So far to date, we've gotten the land cleared. We have $127.75, I believe, is our balance right now.
I thought you were gonna say 127 members, because
no.
it
That
was-
would be
it was
nice.
quite a number.
We were out of elections today for a while, trying to get people who were interested in signing up, giving us their email address, so that way we can contact them when we have an application ready, and just getting word out there with our needs list. And I think we raised a couple of dollars that way. I think a couple of dollars went into the jar, so we'll have to count that tonight. We did receive a pound of organic corn seed from Wood Prairie Farm. We've gotten 6 books from Story Publishing about gardening, so we have a little library now. We have a $25 gift certificate for garden supplies from Rennie's, and we received 400 assorted vegetable packets from Gardener Supply. So, and also, Tony and I went around today. We divided up businesses and we're approaching them to see about getting donations. So that was our task after we left the elections. And we need topsoil. we were in desperate need of some topsoil. There's a lot to fill in those garden areas, and we're right now talking about whether, if we don't have enough, if we'll go to a raised bed system or if we're going to be able to till the whole area. It depends on how much material we have. And I want to thank everybody who came out and did see us around the corner and come visit our little table at the elections today.
Okay, any questions? Thank you. Saco River Community TV Board. Dave just walked back in just in time. He's even coming to the mic.
Isn't it
Take
his
a
rule?
good look, folks, because you never see this guy. He's always hiding behind the camera.
Always behind the camera. Nothing specific to report, but I just want to remind residents to visit the studio at 564 Plains Road in Hollis. That's straight past the town hall, about 7 miles on the left. There is training available for camera operation and digital video editing. Once trained, you can schedule times to borrow cameras, as well as use studio equipment to produce your video or show. The guys are there to assist you and help you to be successful in your venture. If you have questions, you can visit Saco River TV on the web at SRCTV.org or type www.src-tv.org if you wish. Or call 727-5702. Stop by and see what your public access television can do for you.
It's Patrick's. It's
Such flair.
Patrick, right? The guy that's up there.
Patrick and Matt. Yep. Yep. Good bunch.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Dave. All right, Mr. Mr. Foglio. Floor is yours. No, not literally.
Well, we got the paving done down on Elm and Oak. It's all done. The roads are striped as much as we intend to stripe them. Later on, when we get into the budget process, we're going to have to discuss whether you want to put white lines down the sides as well as do the center. It's double the price, and you know, it gets pretty pricey. You'll be talking, you know, $15,000 to $18,000 to stripe your roads versus $7 or $8. I don't know just what it's going to cost us. $350 a mile. We had over 20 miles, so that was done Saturday and Sunday nights. The McLucas Road is ready for Dayton to bring their grader in. We finished up the driveways, I think, all except for one today. So I thought it looked good. A lot of people seem to be getting anxious. I've had continued complaints, I don't know if you saw it or not, come over the internet about they're not happy because they have to stop at the end of the new dam road. And they say there's not radius enough there. Well, there's radius enough there for a tractor trailer to make it around, but I guess a school bus ought to be able to make it, you know.
So is it the school bus drivers that are?
No, these are people that are complaining, saying they're watching the school buses having a hard time making it. They are going to widen out the right-hand side of the new dam, which will give them a wider radius to make a left-hand turn. And so, unless I get some direct orders from somebody else, I'm not going to move the rocks back, which everybody wants me to move the rocks back so they can cut the corner sharper. In fact, we added more rocks up there this week so they couldn't go behind the rocks, because people had a tendency to want to drive behind the rocks. So, supposed to drive on the pavement. Depending on the weather, Thursday, we'll have the shoulder machine in here and shoulder these roads that have been paved. The shoulder machine should be delivered sometime on Friday. That's weather dependent. Our friends who live around the lake seem to be having a grand time. Dave, have you got those pictures?
I don't have them available at the moment. I will get them on the web and also forward them to everyone. So.
Well, the gates arrived yesterday. We put them in the town garage, put the heat on, and put the polyurethane to them, the gasket sealer, put the gaskets on, and we made 2x6 wooden tops to put on it and bolted them down so that the gaskets would be adhered to the gates. It has to set from 12 to 24 hours. We done that this morning. So there, the gaskets are on, and I had Dave come down, Nancy and Dave come down and take some pictures of them so that everybody could see that we have the gates in hand. There seems to be a lot of talk going around that we're not going to have the gates and they're not going to get put on, and you know, we're just snowing the people. Well, it's going to snow, but we're not snowing them. So I brought the part of the dam that I was responsible for because I wanted everybody to see it, and everybody said, what's it going to look like and how's it work? And so I brought it so everybody could see it. I don't know, can you get that on the camera, David? Or can I move it so you can get it on the camera?
What's that?
That plate I got laying on the floor, can you pick that up on the camera?
I've got the two gates side by side.
No, the one I got right here with me now.
Oh, what do you have there?
If he brings it over here, I think you can
Yeah,
probably
you can
see
get
it.
it from,
Where are you, son?
yeah.
Perfect.
This is the inside gate. These are ears to set inside the hole so that it is set up while we're putting it in there to hold it up. These are the 6 holes in the radius that'll be bolt with 2 plates together. There's an outside one and an inside one. They'll be bolted together with, they're about 18-inch stainless steel rods with stainless steel nuts on them. That's gonna sandwich it together. This is a neoprene gasket, and I didn't glue it on yet because it would have smelled awful to bring it in here. I gotta take it off and glue it on, and that goes all the way around the inside and the outside. If you look at the other side of this thing, I don't know if you can see the hook on there. That's a hook, so that when we get ready to take them out, with the extreme amount of pressure will be on it from the outside, we can hook into there with a crane and pull them out. And they are all complete. All we've got to do is bolt the rubbers on, which I just got the bolts this afternoon, and everything's ready to go together. With any luck, tomorrow we're going to start putting the gates on the dam.
Is Knowles done?
No, Knowles is done on the exterior of the dam.
But not
So-
on any.
But we've got to put the gates on and plug up our core, and then we got to have to put sandbags inside the flow control structure, pump the water out as best we can, relocate the rocks that everybody talks about. And what we're going to do is bring those rocks up, and instead of just setting them on the bottom, we're going to bring them rocks up, and we're going to pour concrete all around the rocks so that the rocks can't move with the flow of the water, and it'll give you the wear surface of several inches of concrete before it ever gets to the bottom of the dam. And that's the process that's going to take place next. So
Were you able to remove that material that had built up in front of the dam so that those gates will go down to their proper level?
we will. We haven't done that yet, because when we get down there, we got to take the guardrail down, and then when we get down there with the excavator, I'm going to set these gates with the excavator. We're not going to have a crane come in. If my plan works, we're going to be able to set them ourselves with our own excavator. Will save us a lot of money doing it with our own equipment. So this is the whole thing. Everything is ready, everything's built, and it's a matter now of getting in there. And if anybody wants to take their turn in the water, everybody seems to have a lot to say. Let them come up and they can get in that ice cold water and put it on. I'll be happy for them. So if we got any volunteers, show up.
Okay. Anything else, Doug?
Not too much.
Any questions?
Take my iron and leave.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Okay, moving right along. Selectmen's reports. Start up at this end. Gordon, anything?
No, I had occasion to stop by the polls today, and everything appeared to be going pretty well. They indicated they didn't have any problems up there. The voter turnout is high, and it's been steady all day long. The count when I stopped by was a little over 4,000 on the machine, but that takes into consideration that there are 2 ballots this year, so the actual voter count would be half that figure of the number of people that turned out so far. And it was this afternoon, like I said, that I had stopped by there. I know I had occasion to see Selectman Woodson there too. He was assisting people with the bake sale.
I don't know who made those cran nut cookies, but they are delicious.
Yeah.
So if you want to bring some in, we can make a deal.
The cran nut cookies. And like I say, it seemed to be going, very smoothly. There didn't appear to be any traffic problems. The parking lot was jam-packed, and I was there, and it just seemed to be going well. The people that were working the polls for the town had smiles on their faces, so that's certainly a good indicator that things were going smoothly. There didn't seem to be anybody that was nervous about anything other than Bridget was worried a little bit about the weather because she's flying out to Texas on Thursday morning to work on a project down there. So, other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, Joe?
I sent you all an email earlier this week about the York County Budget Committee. We received notice from the Commissioner's office that the Commissioners have approved both the 6-month and 12-month budget. Those have been passed on to the committee now. But the Commissioners are also requiring that the Budget Committee members sign a disclosure this year related to a policy that the Commissioners adopted just a few weeks ago. And they have added that to the Budget Committee's agenda. I've got a copy of the disclosure statement, and I'll say right now that I will not be signing it. It asks for a lot of information that, frankly, I don't think is really pertinent to the position that we serve. Budget Committee members are elected. The County Commissioners do not have any oversight over the Budget Committee. They don't have any say over how we conduct our business. We have state laws that are in place that make sure there's no conflict of interest for elected officials, and I'll abide by the state laws, but I am not going to sign a policy created by the County Commissioners because I am not a county official. The County Commissioners are going to have the attorney present tomorrow night at our meeting. I don't know what the feeling of the other Budget Committee members are as far as signing this disclosure, but I'm digging my heels in on this one. And other than that, that's it.
When's the next, you said Wednesday night?
Tomorrow night.
Oh,
Tomorrow night, 6:30.
okay. John?
I just mentioned that the new power cots are in at the fire department. And these are the stretchers that you press a button and they go up and down rather than having to lift. And sometimes if you got a couple of people, 2 or 3 people, and you have a 400-pound person, you need to lift and the cot into the ambulance. You need 5 or 6 people, and here, this power cot, you can put 750-pound person on there, and it will lift them up and into the ambulance. So it still doesn't get people in and out of their houses. That still requires the aid, but once they're on that cot, it's pretty neat. It's $12,000 worth of neat.
David?
The polls close at 8, I believe. And is there going to be any postings, David, after? Do you know? Any count or results?
Yeah, we should have that up by the morning.
By the morning?
Yeah, probably won't know till 1 o'clock in the morning, I imagine.
Okay.
It'll be up about as soon as it's done counting.
Okay.
Okay.
There's also some photos, if folks want to go to the website, just click on the link at the top of the page, and there's a bunch of photos from today to take a look at what's going on.
Anything else, Dave?
No.
Okay. New business. Discuss vote to sign the prepared addendum to the snowplow contract that was approved at the Selectmen's meeting on October 2nd. It's in your packet, we voted on October 7th to include that, so I would look for a motion to sign, approve and sign.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you. No old business. Entertain a motion for warrants and bills for payroll.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on all those in favor? Minutes of October 30th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Pending decisions, PSAs, driveway opening permits, and board and committee status. Me quickly, as we're moving along here. Board and committee status, Old Home Days, we're still looking for some more members. Community Garden Committee, still looking for more members. There's no limit to either one of those committees. Fair Hearing Committee, we have 2 vacancies. ZBA, we have 1. Finance Committee, 2. Planning Board, 1 vacancy. Parks and Rec, 4 vacancies. Conservation Commission, 1 vacancy. Transfer Station Recycling Committee, 1 vacancy. and hiring panel for vacancies. EDC and the Public Safety Committee both have no members, so we have 7 and 5 vacancies respectively there as we're trying to redo and rebuild those committees. So if you have any interest in serving on any one of those, feel free to come in and discuss with Christina or approach anyone of the selectmen, and we will make sure that you have the right paperwork to move forward.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
could I just add that I was speaking with the chair of the Old Home Days Committee last week, and they're very concerned if they don't get some more members about whether or not they'll be able to pull off the event this coming summer. So I would just like to encourage people, if you enjoy that event, please consider volunteering some time. You know, the more hands they have, the easier the workload, and they're at a point now where they're considering whether or not they could even do it this coming.
They've got a lot of burnt out members that have done this for many, many years, so thanks for that input, Christine. Anything else? Discussion of week's action list. I think the only thing is Tom is going to prepare the letter from us to the planning board relative to that vote. Discussion of agenda items. We do have a public hearing next week. Other than that, I think we've got a very brief agenda, maybe reflecting over where we, what the referendums came out with. We'll put a little bit of a review of that on there. What that means now going forward, if in fact any or all of those pass. Anything else? I guess I think we need to have the discussion relative to the county tax. They're looking for a date. So let's, yes, we'll lay the options on the table and look at, because it's really the payment of this first this first 6 month deal, right?
Mhm.
We've already paid them for this calendar year. We've already paid county tax for calendar year. So it's now going to be from January 1st to June 30th. And they've got some options there, but we need to, I think they're looking for a decision, right?
Yep, they want the first payment by December 31st. And then the second payment is following September. But your payment options for this first piece that's due by December 31st is you can pay it in a lump sum, or you can space it out over up to 5 years. If it's spaced out, then the county will take out a TAN, and the municipalities that go on their payment plan are going to be responsible for paying the interest on the TAN.
So we're going to have this, I guess, discussion. We need to, I guess I'd like to at least know what the option, what I'm confused with is that Maine statute requires each municipality to notify the county by February 15th of their payment schedule, and yet we have a payment that's due before we notify them what the payment schedule is going to be.
Tomorrow night, the county manager is doing a presentation on the 2 budgets, and one of the things that the budget committee has specifically asked for is how the payment structure is going to work, because whereas it's the budget committee's responsibility to hold any public hearings and to present these budgets to the municipalities, it's very important for us to understand exactly how this is going to work. There's kind of been some letters to the municipalities, but hopefully tomorrow night we'll get a really good grasp on exactly what it is. And I know that there is some language in state statute if a county is changing over to a different fiscal year. There's some provisions on how payments are made.
So we have paid through what?
We paid for calendar year 2012.
Okay,
$370,000.
all right.
They are transitioning away from the calendar year to a fiscal year. So what they're going to do is they're going to run a 6-month fiscal year. So that will go from January 1st through. That's $8 million, which is exactly half of the current budget. Which means that it's probably it's $180,000 to the town of Waterboro. we have nothing in our budget to pay $180,000, so I'm not sure, you know, they can ask for a payment by December 31st.
Ain't gonna happen.
It ain't happening as far as I know, but, because we have no mechanism to pay them. We have no money to pay them. So, let's put the thing on and I guess lay it out, and you're gonna have some more information
Yep.
as of tomorrow night, so, that should be an agenda item for next week. They're gonna ask us for a payment of $160,000, we ought to know when and why and by what authority. That's where I'm coming from, is that, okay, the commissioners can vote to change things, but
But if they don't get paid, you know?
I
And, I
don't
mean,
understand why that
It
doesn't go to
concerns me that they set it up so that, I mean, the towns pay it through a loan, and then they end up paying the interest. I mean, that's,
Well, they're borrowing money,
yeah, but we're gonna pay it.
I understand, but the county is borrowing the money in a tax anticipated note. Because I don't think they have a mechanism to collect that money, but maybe state law gives them that mechanism. So when the county, your county manager, Gregory Zinsa, I guess is his.
Yep.
Is the budget committee looking at both of these budgets?
Yes.
Because it says the draft 6-month budget shows a municipality assessment of $8,024,000. This is exactly one half of this year's. The draft 12-month budget shows an assessment of $16 million, which is $50,000 less than 2012. It says the budget has been forwarded to the budget committee. So I would have said the budgets.
Yeah, we're doing both at the same time.
All right. So let's put it on next week's agenda, maybe we get some clarification. Anything else?
And just something quite simple compared to what we just came from, and that is December 14th okay for with you all for the
Yep.
Selectmen's
I'm good.
second annual dinner for the staff?
I may-
December 14th.
I may have a conflict. I have weekend duty at school then, but I won't know until Tuesday of that week what nights I'm working, so. But by all means, hold it, you know?
Yeah, I think we can, no matter what date we pick, there's gonna be,
Yeah.
if everybody can make it, fine. So. All right, anything else? Items needing signature, warrants and bills for payroll. Quickly, the reminders. Tomorrow, from 9 to 4, York County Community Action will be over in the Old Town Hall with fuel assistance. You must have an appointment to meet with them. If you do not have an appointment and you would like to make a future appointment, call 324-5762, and that number is on our website. Planning board meeting tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in this room. Thursday on the 8th at 11:30 a.m. senior luncheon, the last one of the season, at the Snowmobile Club. Web fundraiser, proceeds for fuel assistance. I'm not sure how that fits in there. Whatever. Okay, so it's at the Snowmobile Club. Finance Committee meeting Thursday night at 7 p.m. the Old Town Hall. Cribbage Tournament this Saturday morning at 8:30 the Old Town Hall. Next Monday is Veterans Day, so Town Hall, even though it's normally closed on Monday, except for a few of the senior staff, they will be off as well. Monday at 5 p.m., even though it's Veterans Day, the Master Planning Committee will be meeting at the Central Station. That's still on, David, you know?
As far as I know, yeah.
And 6 p.m., the Community Garden Committee will be meeting at 6 p.m. over at the Old Town Hall. We're back here next week. There'll be a public hearing on GA levels, as I mentioned earlier. Reporting out will be the librarian, the library trustees, and the Friends of the Waterboro Public Library. Wednesday, 6 p.m., next Wednesday, the Road Review Committee, Old Town Hall. And then 2 weeks from yesterday, or November 18th, I believe it is, Monday, The 12-town group will be here in this room Tuesday night. No, it is, I'm
That's the
sorry,
19th, yeah.
the 19th. Tuesday night, the 20th, the Selectmen's meeting will be here in this room. Any other announcements or reminders? Sensing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second?
All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you and good
Kind
night.
of hoping David